So a 40 by 40 foot wall, well, 40 by 40 foot room. A couple of things in here. The first thing is you start to open the door, you can hear water starting to both drip and starting to, seems like there's some water that's rushing out of the east wall. And it's a very small, it's like a giant mouse hole on the right hand side, which is on the east. And the water is running out and it's moving from right to left. And it looks like it's been running for a very long time, because it looks like it's kind of eroded the floor tiles away. And then on the left-hand side of the room over here, there is a 7-foot high hole in the wall where this water runs into. And then it just kind of, the water just subsides into the wall. And there's, like I said, there's a 7-foot high, like a cave entrance on the wall. Now, in the room, there is like a giant chandelier that is in the middle of this room. And it's held up by 5 chains. And it's made of like an old wood. And there's a lot of spider webs and stuff hanging off of it. There's all kinds of arcane sigils that are burnt onto the underside of the wood. You can see a bunch of burnt symbols and whatnot. And then on top of this dangling chandelier, there are 3 gargoyles that are all kind of facing each other. And they've all got shit-eating grins on their face. And then on the walls, mounted, there are all kinds of weapon racks that are mounted, and there's dozens of spears, pole arms, swords, anything in the player's handbook is basically on all of these weapon racks that are mounted on the wall. And there's some that are on the floor that have been knocked out and whatnot. And then as you enter the room, Lynn, to your left-hand side on the eastern wall in the eastern corner, there is yet another body that is lying face down in a coagulated pool of blood. And he looks to be a fairly chubby man that is wearing leather armor.
Okay. Are there any, you kind of look at the ceiling and see if there's any more of those lurkers?
Can I do that too?
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I love it. That happens every single time that you have some type of slime or lurker.
Yeah, this has happened several times now. You'd think that we might think about that.
I love it. So yeah, you can give me a perception check as you... In fact, if you're looking, give me an investigation check.
Can I roll one too? Because I don't want to get gross.
If you're in the room, yeah, sure, go for it.
I'm not really in the room, kind of like a little outside.
If you're in the room, go for it. I don't care.
So, Dave, I'm looking for like a hoist that the chandelier works off of. So something, the chain is tied on a pulley, goes to the wall, something like that. So how does this raise and lower?
Yeah, there are like I said, there's 5 chains that are holding this chandelier up, and each one of these chains are kind of mounted on the ceiling, holding this thing up. Sort of like what would be in the corner of the room, you know what I mean? There's like one in the center going straight up to the ceiling, and then there's one sort of like on all 4 corners, even though it's a circle and there's no corners, going to each corner of the 40 by 40 chamber. That's how it's held up.
Okay, I'm going to start shooting firebolts, and just a little practice. I'm going to try to knock off the chains for the chandelier, and I want to make it fall. So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Okay. Yeah, these you hit the first chain, and which chain are you actually trying to shoot?
I'm going to start with the
middle
center
or one
chain.
on the, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
one in
the one in the middle to start with.
Yeah. So yeah, as you fire a couple of firebolts onto it, you get one solid hit and a couple others, and you can tell that you're doing damage to the chain, but it's actually a really sturdy chain.
What about the wooden chandelier? I kind of hit it at the point where it meets the chain.
Sure, you can do that. You can hit the wood starts to splinter, and as you do that, it seems like you can start to hear a rock crumbling, and you can hear like stone rubbing together. And then as you're looking up there, all three of the gargoyles, they animate, and all of their heads, a real crunchy, stone grindy sound. All of the gargoyles look at you. So let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Damn it, Gimbal.
Roll initiative.
Every time.
Well, they would have attacked it anyway.
Yeah, roll initiative.
Hey, where'd I go?
God.
Poor Gimbal. You awaken us, little one. Now you're going to die.
You were going to wake up anyway.
Oh, I suppose so. But it looks like you just wanted to kill us anyway, so no parley for you. Let's fight. Okay, so nice rolls. Gimbal, you've got high initiative. You've got a 20.
So Dave, how many are there?
Okay, so Dave,
Three.
these guys are made of stone, as I recall.
They are.
So I'm sure they love a shatter spell right in between all of them. So I should be able to get all three.
Yeah.
It's a 10-foot radius sphere.
Yeah, you can.
On a point, so they will give me disadvantage with their Constitution saving throws. I'm assuming that Fantasy Grounds will take care of the disadvantage, right? Or do I need to do that?
Let's see. I need to see how the spell is actually worded. Alright, so second level shatter. Noise, 10-foot radius. Creature takes 3d8 thunder on a failed save, half as much. A creature made of stone crystal has disadvantage on saving throws. So why don't we put a disadvantage pendant? You can I'll show you guys where all of the new effects are in the upper right hand corner. See where the like the silhouette of the shoulders and above with the 3 stars around the head?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of effects in there, and all we would have to do would be look for disadvantage save. Should be DIS save.
Oh, I don't have that. I've got deafened is the only D I've got.
So it would be disadvantage on save on would be spell. So let's put this on 3. This should work for. Hopefully it will. But why don't you go ahead and put that. Alright, so let's see. Failure. You can also click all of those at one time. You can control and then click those, and then it would have rolled all 6 at one time.
Yeah, I thought I did, but apparently not.
It's okay. Nah, no big deal. So it did work. So that's the great thing about the effects now. I've been trying to put together a whole bunch of them. So, all right, all 3 of the gargoyles are wounded.
Pow! So obviously it's quite a bit of noise, and then I go enjoy, and I'm gonna make some movement.
All right.
There. Right.
I will accept that. I like that. Have fun. All right. So the gargoyle, after just taking some shatter damage, he's gonna go ahead and fly back to the room is about 12 foot high, so he's not going to have enough flight area to go above everyone. So he's going to land right here in the corner of the room, and he's going to attack Gimbal. He doesn't like that. He says, "Why are you running away from me, little goblin?" As he thrashes out and does 2 attacks. One with his bite, and then he tries to follow up with a claw upper attack, and he misses with his bite. And then the clawed upper attack will hit you with a 16, and you will take a total of 4 slashing damage as you're wounded. Let's get, is there a fly in here? Ander, you're up now, bud. All right. Gimbal just, I'm out of here.
All right. Well, I found this gargoyle amulet, and I'm curious if it might do anything. So I rush up and say, "Hey, fellas," and just present it to them. Might this mean anything to you?
You pull that out and yell that?
Yeah.
All right. So
for the shot.
All 3 of the, and I'll approve that move together, and all 3 of the gargoyles, they turn towards you, and you can hear their heads kind of grind as they turn towards you.
Uh-oh.
And they say, "How did you get that amulet?"
Found it on a white.
"You may pass, but your friends shall not." And then it looks like they go back to attacking your friends. But they do tell you that you can pass, but your friends shall not. Especially that little goblin in the back, or little kobold, whatever he is.
What are they talking about? No goblins around here.
Trying to shoot down my chandelier that I've been sitting on for generations. Ugh. Make me sick, goblin. Anything else for you, Ander?
Well, that just won't do. So I'm just going to take a...
Why don't you give me a persuasion check, actually? Why don't you give me a persuasion check as you are... telling, I mean, what else are you trying to do? I mean, you're just saying, hey, I mean, what are you doing with this amulet? I mean, I just kind of...
I'm just holding it out towards them, trying to, presenting it to them. Kind of like I would a holy symbol or something. Yeah. Maybe if I scream, "Get back!"
Yeah, give me a persuasion check. I'll let him possibly... be successful with it, maybe like a
very nice
12 or something. Yeah. All right.
Get back.
All right. So the gargoyles, they stop attacking. They look towards you, and one of them says, "Give us the amulet, and we'll let you pass. If not, you will have to fight us. The choice is up to you." "We have not seen that amulet for many years. We will take that back. Or we will take it from you."
So I pitch it out to the one in front of me.
It looks like it's worth probably about 25 gold or so. The silver metal and stuff that it has. All right. So you hand it to the gargoyle in front of you. All right. He takes it. He goes from being in like an offensive or fighting position to a more relaxed. And this gargoyle here that's down below you, he looks like he's going to start fluttering his wings to go back up on top of the chandelier. And in fact, all of them look like they're going to do that. So next is Cardos. What would you like to do, Cardos?
I mean, they're pretty... Not really doing anything now.
No. Lynn, would you want to do anything?
Delay. I'll just
I'm going to be wary and have my stuff ready, but allow them to leave if they do.
All of the gargoyles, they all go back up on top of the chandelier.
All right, I'll clap Ander on the shoulder and say, well done indeed. How'd you think of that?
Well, gargoyle amulet, duh.
Oh, I suppose.
Two of them turn back into stone. Both of them are not, two of them are not animated anymore. And then the third one looks down at you and says, wise choice, holy man. Very wise choice. Because I was just fixing to summon a devil from the depths of the elemental chaos.
I'm already here, though.
Very... Oh, there is a tiefling amongst you. Roll initiative. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, and by the way, as he sees you moving over towards the corpse, Ander, the gargoyle says, that corpse is off limits to all of you. That treasure belongs to us. And you can tell that it is a rather fresh corpse. Much like the other gentleman was on the other side of the door that was squashed like a tomato or a tomato, wherever you hail from in the States. But they do look like they are fresher corpses. It doesn't look like they've decomposed a whole lot. They may have been around for a couple of days. The stink is light. It's not a overwhelming stench yet.
If we want, we could just wreck them.
Possibly. That choice is up to you guys. That choice is definitely up to you guys.
Can I look at the corpse?
What do you mean the corpse is off limits? We're
Gimble,
looking
stay
for
away.
something. Can we look
Stay
at
away,
it?
Gimble.
What are you looking for, Goblin?
Something.
What is something? You're starting to get on my nerves, Goblin.
How do you like that shatter spell, huh?
That was, it did. I felt better.
I've got another one for you right here.
Oh,
well, can we look at the corpse? We're looking for something.
I will allow you to look, but do not touch and take anything from
We're
that
not
corpse.
interested in taking. We're looking for something. Didn't say anything about taking something.
You may go ahead. And he looks at you as you all are walking over there towards the body. And he tells you that there is a pouch under the corpse. He says, I'm not trying to hide it from you, but there is a pouch under the corpse. It was a payment that we received the other day. The last group of adventurers that came through here several days back, they weren't as fortunate as you all were. Because they attacked us, we had a little bit of assistance from the elemental chaos. And as we killed one of them, some bulbous fat woman bribed us and paid us off to stop attacking them. So our payment is under that corpse, and you will not take it.
Did she happen to have wild red hair and crazy eyes?
Yes, she kind of looked like Carrot Top.
Ah.
She was almost a spitting image of a female Carrot Top. But although Carrot Top does kind of look like a female now anyway, so a really built female.
That's a fair point.
How was her jokes?
Horrible. She had a bunch of props.
Physical humor?
There was a lot of props and noise making and all that other crap. I'm not really into that, but there were a bunch of props.
At least it was clean humor, mostly.
Yeah. So yeah, this
There's something.
yeah. This body is all slashed up, probably from the claws of the gargoyle and the bite marks. But he's not smashed. He's not squashed like the other corpse outside of this 40 by 40 gargoyle chamber.
Dave, I'd like to. Oh, there we go. I'm free.
Sure.
I'm gonna come over here and look in this little tunnel here. Is it big enough for me to go down?
It's you might be able to, but you would have to hold your breath, and it looks like water is just coming out and going from right to left. But on the, like I said, on the opposite wall from you though, Gimbal, is a 7-foot high cavern opening.
So Gimbal kind of, you know, starts taking off his backpack and is just stripping down a little bit, pops off his shoes.
Keep going.
Oh my.
It's good.
Look it away.
Keep going. The gargoyle says, keep going.
And he's like, well, if I drowned, what the heck? And he starts wading into the water.
Well, here,
and as he starts going
around you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's like, that's a good idea. So he ties the rope around his waist, and then as he starts going down the tunnel, he flips the gargoyles off. I see there.
The gargoyle just shakes his head. Well, you hold your breath, and when you go under, the water is actually quite cool. And you go in about 20 feet, and it's literally a hole in the wall, and you can't even, there's no room for you to even to put your head up to breathe.
All right, then I'll just kind of float back downstream, and
it's like an underground. I would guess it's like an underground shaft that's just kind of broke through the wall and has created this river. And of course, it's taken quite a long time to do that.
All right, so I pop up and I'm like, well, that's a dead end. Let's try the other side.
You gonna put your clothes back on?
I just took off my shoes. Don't get any ideas. I hop back on dog. And
you only just started, I see.
So is this water just running right on the ground, or is it actually deep or anything?
It's worn, like I said, it's worn sort of like an areaway on the tile, so it's probably about 6 inches deep, 6 to 8 inches. But the water is clean. I mean, you can
since I'm already wet, I kind of travel through the water, and I'm looking to see if anything's been swept down it, anything on the floor. See if there's any goodies in the water.
No, the only things that you see are all these weapons around and the corpse, but nothing else. No type of gadgets or gadgets or anything like that that would actually catch your eye. Because I know
I'm not interested in weapons, so I'm just gonna kind of follow the stream on out of the room. And again, as I leave, I flip off the gargoyle.
The gargoyle just shakes his head at you.
Do you see any murals or anything in this room, Mr. Dungeon Master?
Not in this room, no. Not in the... You're talking about the gargoyle room? No.
Yeah.
Just 4 walls, and it's just basically wall-to-wall weapon racks that are built onto the wall. And like I said, there's some weapons that have fallen off of the racks over time and are on the floor. And then, of course, the body. And then the gargoyle told you that there's a pouch under his corpse, and that treasure is all his, or theirs. And it was a payment from Carrot Top. Carrot Top. Oh, God.
I'll say, Gimbal, before we leave this room, let's check out these weapons and the weapon racks, just to make sure there's nothing.
Oh, I don't care anything about that.
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, well, I'll just tie you off here.
Oh, I've taken off the rope already. It'll be ridiculous.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you can see down this chamber for a little bit. Now, let's see. Gimbal, I believe you're gonna have some dark vision. Lynn,
I do.
You are not gonna have dark vision.
I
you are, because you're actually a half elf, right?
Half elf, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a path that you can see that kind of travels to the northwest pattern.
Ask the gargoyles if
the gargoyles. Yes.
Gargoyles.
This damn gnome of yours, Jesus.
Like Popeye.
Oi.
Do you know of any other entrances into this, or where does this stream lead?
I believe it leads to somewhere else in the Ambergull estate. We were set here to protect the weaponry. This is the armory of the Ambergull estate. So we were basically told to stay here for eternity.
I guess I don't get any experience.
You should have got some. Oh, you can just
Rain got some.
Yeah,
Rain got some. Holy cow.
Yeah,
Is she here? Where is she?
She's invisible.
Yeah, I forgot to update the.
She's not in the water.
Yeah.
You're just starting to feel like a paw on your face. Get there. What the?
There you go. Go ahead and add 640 to your sheet.
Dave, is there anything interesting about the weapons? I know you mentioned that there's everything on the walls here.
There's a bunch of stuff.
But, you know, as a rule, I'm not very interested in that sort of thing. But does anything look valuable, like it's worth taking to sell or anything like that?
I mean, all of it would sell. It all looks like it would be
All
usable.
serviceable.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you had like a bag or something, like bag of holding or something like that, there's probably a couple hundred gold base value worth of weapons. There's other things you could do to see if there was. I mean, what do you try to identify something that's magical or?
Well, don't one of you spell slingers have detect magic or something?
I sure do. I'm just trying to figure out how to put in my experience.
Well, I'll come out, and as I notice, no one's really interested in leaving the room yet. So I'll go ahead and start my. It's a ritual for detect magic. So I'll go ahead and break out my little incense and set it on fire, and then start. You know.
So the gargoyle will ask you, "What are you doing, imp? What are you doing?"
None of your business. None of your business. You have to have a brain to understand.
I have a brain. You are testing my patience, Goblin.
Got a rock in your head.
He turns towards you, Ander, and he says, "Please take your friend and go before we renege on our deal and kill the goblin."
That was not part of the deal.
Deals can change, and he's starting to frustrate me.
So real quick, I'm kind of trying to add that experience to me real quick.
Okay.
And
on your
kind of failing miserably.
That's okay. Where your class says on the main tab, Wizard 4, on the right-hand side, there's a magnifying glass. Just click that.
I clicked on that.
And when you click it, just click inside of the XP box and replace 27 with 3340.
Okay.
Right, that's it. It's been up.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. I suppose. Go ahead, Goblin. Cast your foul shaman magic. And then he goes back into being an adamant gargoyle, just a stone statue now.
While he's doing this ritual, I'm gonna pull out an apple from my shield.
So what's everybody else doing this during this 10-minute period of him doing a ritual?
No. I have a question about the rope trick. Does that initiate a short rest?
What does now?
The spell rope trick.
What is the rope trick? Rope trick is that little. It's the hut that you can create, right?
It's take a length of rope. One end of the rope rises into the air. Extra dimensional space can be reached by climbing the top of the rope.
Yeah, I mean,
it lasts an hour.
It lasts an hour, so if you want to have a nice, safe place to take a rest, yeah, it'll cost you a second level spell slot, but yeah, you could do that if you wanted to.
I'll probably ask everyone first, do you want to take like a little break? Oh, I don't think I have rope. Never mind.
I have rope trick if you want to do that later, but
yeah, I want to do that in here.
I don't know.
Yeah, probably not here. That's a good idea.
The gargoyles might come up and join you for the party. Is there a buffet bar up there?
Right.
If
No,
you guys
get
want to take an hour rest, you guys can take an hour rest and we'll do an encounter roll, see if something kind of wanders along or something, maybe.
I think we were just gonna wait for his detect magic to go through.
All right, so what else is everybody doing during the 10 minutes then as Gimbal is performing his ritual?
So keep my eye on the gargoyles, make sure they don't try anything funny.
I'm taking the whole 10 minutes to eat the apple.
Nice.
Just
savoring it,
bit at a time, yeah.
Enjoying it and savoring it. Yeah.
It's just like, so good.
Nice.
So, detect magic, do I see anything there?
1 second. So we'll go to your ritual. There is one of the spears that has an aura. Not even the amulet that is hanging around the gargoyle's neck now. That doesn't even have a glow. But there is a spear that's on one of the weapon racks over on the southern wall. It bears a magical property. It has a slight glow. And in fact, actually, the entire spear glows, not the tip of the spear, but the entire thing.
So I'll come over to the spear and whip out my little spectacles and start looking at it real closely, getting my nose like right up to it.
Sure, give me an investigation check. He's pretty good with this because he's a wizard, so he should actually do really well. Yeah, that's a nice roll. So what this is you've seen these before. This is a collapsible spear, and basically in its normal reach, you can actually shrink it back and forth, and you can get an extra little bit of reach. So instead of it being a 5-foot weapon, you can spring it out, and it would become a 10-foot long spear. Or you could use it as a 10-foot pole as well.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
So I'll just take it off the rack.
Okay.
Can anybody use a spear? This one seems quite nice.
What did you find there, Gimbal? Let me see it.
I'll hand it over. It's a collapsible type. It'll change lengths once you get used to it.
It does. With like a command word, it will go from like a 5-foot spear to a 10-foot spear and give you that reach.
So I'll look at it and see if I can figure out how to work it. So would I be able to do that? Or is it just...
Sure. As part of the if you wanted to take a short rest, you could identify the properties during a short rest, yes. If not, you can just hold on to it and wait till you do get a rest.
Okay, we'll hold on to it then.
Maybe we should leave the room before we do such a thing.
Yeah, but Gimbal could actually tell that it was magical, and it looks like it. Like I said, it has breaks in the pole to where it will extend out to 10 feet.
Okay, I'll play with that later. We should move on.
You have to attune with it. I'm sure you're very good at playing with spears.
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Water is quite deep for Gimbal as he's.
Well, that's why I'm riding dog.
Gimbal, you need to ride on my shoulders.
No, dog can swim.
He's got like a little motorboat. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, why don't you slow down and let me lead the way?
Well, hurry up.
I'll step over him.
All right. So for all of you,
hey, out of the way, out of the way.
Humans in the party, how are you going to see? Because it is pitch black in here.
Okay, you can do that. I had dancing lights as well, so either or.
I'll cast light.
All right. Yeah, it's a cantrip. You get quite a bit of light. It extends out. You can see that the cavern, the water is about 3 to 4 feet deep. So Gimbal dog is just acting like a motorboat, and kind of you're floating around on him. And plus, there's a current that is going from right to left as well. And you guys are, I would assume, you're being pretty careful.
Yeah, I'm going kind of slow.
Yeah, it seems like there's in some spots it seems like it is a little trickier to navigate because of the rocks, and there's slime and shit like that down there, so you're kind of having to well, Gimbal's not having a problem. He's floating around on dog, but you guys are having to watch your step basically so you don't slip or fall or anything like that. But if you were to get into like a combat or something like that with a bunch of exhilarating movement, then you would have to start using your dexterity to balance yourself and stuff. But you can see this tunnel, it does continue up to the northwest, and then it looks like it starts to turn sharply to the west.
So I also want to how tall is this cave again, Dave?
It's 7. The entry point was 7 feet, but in here it goes from like 7 to anywhere between 7 and 10 foot.
Okay, so I'm just looking at the walls and the ceiling just to make sure that we try not to be surprised.
Yeah, I will definitely give you a stealth versus your passive perception type of roll if needed.
All right. We'll keep going then.
Right. See, the corridor goes to the west, and then it starts to go like in a southwesterly direction now.
This conga line we got going.
Yeah. Just think another thing, when Unity comes out, won't have to do this either because it'll all have dynamic lighting and line of sight and stuff. Can't wait. Alright, so ahead, it looks like it just kind of straightens out and goes to straight west now.
I am trying to be really quiet, except that I like try to lift my feet out of the water every time I step. So there's always, splash chink, splash chink.
Well, it's about, I mean, it's anywhere between 2 and 4 feet deep, so it would be kind of hard to do it in the deeper spots, but I see what you're trying to do, though.
Yeah, I'll just high knee through it.
So spooky.
So as you're moving west now, and you're starting to notice that you can see what appears to be a rise as the water kind of gets a little bit deeper, and ahead of you, you see that there is an opening. You can see sort of like another cave entrance. And it looks like it opens up into a chamber.
Well, this had to end somewhere. There we go.
Yeah, it does. It does definitely end. And it looks like it opens up into a chamber that's about 20 feet. And then it looks like it opens up a little bit more, and then it turns right. And this stream continues to flow in this room because the water rises up to the floor level, because like I said, the water gets deeper as you're still in this cavern, and then you actually kind of have to climb up onto it. Almost goes to like 5 feet deep, and then you have to climb up onto the floor, which is pretty much right there.
All right, so I will look in there, and do I see anything else in this room, or is it just sort of the water?
You don't see anything, no, but it looks like this room goes to the north.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and climb out of the water.
I can't really move my character.
I've got the tokens. Got the
There's
tokens
a reason
locked.
for that.
Yep.
So I'll
So-
hop off a dog briefly so he can do the the dog shake and kind of get most of the water off of him.
Ander, even with the shaking of dog and all the water splashing on you, Len, Gimbal, you guys can hear a couple of gruff voices kind of echoing ahead as this hall turns to the right and faces to the north. You can hear what appears to be voices that are kind of echoing all over the place, actually.
So dog has better hearing than me and also has a really good sense of smell. So can he tell there's creatures up above? And if so, does he know what kind they are?
You could tell that there's definitely something ahead, but as to what, you do not know.
Does he smell like sweat and grime, like it's a living creature? Or
Yeah, it's definitely smells. There's definitely a draft coming into the room because of the way that the water's coming into the room and kind of pulling air in. Yeah, you can smell. You can definitely smell something. In fact, why don't you give me, the three of you that are in the room, why don't you guys give me perception checks? It's a familiar smell.
Familiar as an undead?
No. I'll whisper out. Say. I think we have minotaurs ahead.
Oh boy.
I think I remember this.
It
So
is
caution.
It is a recognizable smell for sure.
I smell beef.
Perhaps it's a couple large cows.
So
well, those brutes weren't too much trouble before. I could go right there, Dave.
you.
Nice, Ander.
All right, be ready for a fight.
Very nice.
I think I heard him talk.
Yeah.
I think maybe we smell like beef too.
What? I'll sniff myself.
So I'm using the language filter.
Can I have dog do a perception check, Dave?
Hold. Sounds
All right.
like they're possibly cooking a dwarf up ahead. They're arguing over who gets the legs.
He actually has
Really?
Abyssal, the language of Abyssal. Yeah, you could definitely understand. Sounds like the voices ahead are definitely, they're arguing. Who's going to get the legs of the dwarf?
Will come, no time to waste.
Maybe we can surprise them.
Maybe we can get the legs.
Nice. Yeah, so this does open up. I guess. then you can also see that kind of branches off just before it's out of your dark range vision. You can see that there is a bridge that's ahead of you, and then you can see that there is a path that travels to the right, which is to the east, and then you can also see a path that is traveling to the left, which is to the west of the bridge also.
All right, y'all check the east passage. I'll check the west passage.
Yeah, so as you guys get up to the east and west passages, you can start to hear these grumblings as well, Gimbal. And you can hear the echoes of this, sounds like these two Minotaur are arguing. And to your right-hand side, you see a 30-foot chamber that ends with a dead end. Lynn, as you look to the left, you can see that this opens up into a very large chamber, and you can see where the wall is about 20 feet high in this area. You can see that it opens up into a massive cavern. Massive cavern. And you can actually kind of, what it kind of looks like water ahead of you also, as you look around the corner.
Okay, can I hear the voices coming from my side?
Okay, well,
you two up front, Lynn and Gimbal, give me a perception check.
so I'm gonna have I'm gonna use my dog's perception check, and I want him to try to smell which way the dwarfs would be. So that would be an advantage if I'm using his hearing or smell. Is that okay, Dave?
Yeah, well, he's a familiar anyway, right?
Correct.
He points north.
This way, guys. I'm gonna scoot under the bridge and continue north.
All right. Yeah, you got room.
All right, and as I see him go, I'll follow.
All right, so Andrew, what are you doing? You can start to hear the sounds as well as you get up to closer to the bridge.
Just gonna follow closely behind them.
Okay. Curtis, looks like you and Zero are moving up also.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow the other intelligent being, the wizard.
You want to move up another 15 feet there, Lynn?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so as you pass by, it definitely looks like this place opens up into actually a pretty large cavern. And as you kind of pass by, you can actually kind of see what appears to be a pretty large body of water and what appears to be maybe a dragon statue that's in the water.
A dragon statue. So as soon as I see that, I will stop and turn and say, friends, perhaps we may want to investigate this chamber first. I see a dragon statue in some water.
Like a sandy beach and whatnot as well. Definitely a huge cavern, very uneven ceiling. Looks like it goes up to about 25 to 30 feet. And then there's all kinds of water that's dripping from stalactites that are hanging down. And looks like you can see that there's quite a bit of moss that's starting to grow on the sandy shore as well. And then even on the walls, like right here, you can see moss on the wall that's kind of creeping around the corner. But yeah, it definitely looks like there's a raised dais over the water with a what appears to be, you can see like a tail and like a wing. So it looks like there's a dragon statue in there.
All right, so I'll turn and head that way, assuming that everybody will follow me.
So
This may be what we're looking for.
Gimbal, what about you as you go?
Gimbal doesn't even hear him and keeps on going north.
Okay. Ander? Curtis and Zero, what are you guys doing? I see Zero's moving up a little bit.
I'm interested in the big room. I would definitely like to go over there a little bit.
Right, Ander goes right over with you. Like everybody's moving up. You're moving in. Like you guys are...
I see them moving over there. Oh shit, I don't want to yell. Well, actually, I could use a minor illusion to ask him. Could I?
I don't know. Can you?
I could. I'll do a minor illusion next to them and say, "Hold up, there's a room over here."
Of like
as a whisper. As a whisper. It'll be in my voice.
Yeah, because you can do a sound or image. So
Gimbal will turn around and kind of give you the stink eye a little bit.
The stink eye.
but then he'll turn dog around too and head back their way.
Oh, so you guys aren't splitting the party? Damn. I love it when the group splits the party.
Yeah, you were starting to drool, starting to salivate a little, weren't you?
I was, yeah. Damn right I was.
That's how the horror movies start.
And then the funny fat guy dies first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about anybody in particular?
Talking about
no.
Yeah, so as you
All
guys go over to this chamber here, you can see it just opens up into a huge chamber. And when you guys move on to the shore, to the south, you can even see that there is like another cave, a dry cave that is, and it looks like it's going into darkness. But you can definitely see that there is a dragon statue that's a couple of feet over the water. And you can also see that there's a bunch of pitted holes inside, that are on the side of the round dais that it's on, that's over the water, that extends up out of the water. So it looks like there's like hand and feet holes that you could use to climb up on it.
So why is the dragon statue more important than the dwarf who's about to be eaten?
Lynn, nice.
You're feeling empathy for all small people, I see.
No, dwarves are pretty big to me.
Relatively.
I think they're shorter than people like you, but I wouldn't call them much smaller than people like you. They're quite fat.
Quite stout.
Lynn passes dragon statue. You can see another raised platform, a more square platform that's sticking up out of the water, and it is a couple of feet over the water, but it has a huge chest on top of this stone block that's out of the water. And then you can also see that there's more water flowing in, kind of a small little waterfall over where the green arrow is up top.
Okay. So our mission is to find the altar and Carrot Top and bring them back to Dagger.
We should just change Boo Boo Darla's name to Carrot Top. I vote for that.
I suspect that we may find one or the other or both in here.
Or the dwarf might know where they are. Or it might be the dwarf. Minotaurs aren't that smart. May think the Carrot Top is a dwarf.
I agree. Now that we've seen what's in here, maybe we should see what's going on with other voices.
Yeah, because they're about to cook that dwarf, or they are cooking it.
All right.
I'm getting a bit hungry myself, actually.
All right. So I'll back away and go towards the entrance.
Yeah. Okay.
Say we'll come right back here.
Okay.
And I guarantee you, something very nasty lives in that water. Just thought I'd share that with everybody.